Well, hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen out there in the interweb. Zombie Force here. Quick update. Uh, what it's referring to when people are wondering, if anybody out there is wondering, what the hell is going on with this all federal grants and spending are on hold. And the lefties they're kind of pushing back, but Chuck Schumer, he's not saying anything. So I'll just go ahead and tell you what I know. The fact of the matter is when the grants and the federal spending and the federal money, okay, it goes out to organizations, okay, here inside the United States and outside the United States. Something like whenever people discovered there was a $500 million proposed spending in some apartment complex housing developments inside Gaza. But let's just kind of stay on track. The fact of the matter is inside all of that money, you got to understand that we're talking about $2 trillion worth of money, matter of fact. Like I said, if you have to, take your shoes off and use your toes to count if you get confused. One, the Supreme Court justices, just remember my videos when I said, my dad's uncle might have been a judge. So anyhow, the fact of the matter is whenever the judges have, somebody says, oh, they put a stop on something. No. They gave it a stay. There's a difference between a stop and a stay, which means that the order stands as it is. It stays. See? Don't get that confused with somebody's getting out of getting executed because the judge changed it. No. The presidential orders stayed. Of course, the Supreme Court's going to examine what the consequences of this is, but in all legalities, let me explain it to you. It means that whenever you can look on any of the websites, waste your time, go ahead. The fact of the matter is on those websites it's going to say everybody that is presently receiving Social Security benefits and Medicare. You got to understand it. Medicare. And the people that are drawing their pensions and Social Security and Medicare are unaffected. Students that are covered by grants, off to college, they got a grant. They got a grant to further their education, those kind of things. They're unaffected. Excuse me, squeeze me. The fact of the matter is look to the link down there in the description. I'm going to leave a link to Sarah Huckabee. She's now, if anybody didn't know it, she's the governor of Arkansas, which is one of my neighbors in the state. So the fact of the matter is the ball is rolling. Anybody who is working age adults inside the United States with status, legal status to be employed. You have to legal status to be employed, to have a job, or to be able to get a job. See, that's the key to it too. You are going to be pretty much unaffected, but you will be expected. It's in the it's coming. Which means that if you're somebody who sits around as a U.S. citizen, an able-bodied working person of an adult species, and you're not a full-time stay-at-home parent with kids, you will be expected to get employment or be avidly seeking employment to be qualified for EBT. That's kind of the standard of it. But it also will affect Medicaid. You have to understand that. Medicaid is something that lots of people get that at no cost because it comes through the Department of Welfare and Social Services. Medicare is something that a retired person on their Social Security who's already paid into Medicare is already covered, similar to Social Security. You've just paid for it. You've paid your own coverage. Plus, in some cases, you may have to take on additional expenses by buying some medications or paying for a doctor's visit that your Medicare may or may not cover you on. But you must be lawfully capable of being employed, if that means anything to you. If you are an illegal alien inside this country, that covers all these people that needs to get the fuck out my country. And that covers all the people. That means if you came over here on a visa, like I mentioned this in a video, you're only allowed to work a certain amount of hours while you're here on a visa to go to school. See, you cannot get a work visa to come to the United States that covers you to work on a full-time job plus be a full-time student. It's not going to happen. They don't do it that way. It's kind of complicated, but that's how it is. And if you've overstayed your vacation visa, if you've applied and says, I'm going to be over there on a 90-day stay and I'm just going to be on vacation, you're done. You're going to get deported just like the rest of these people. Medicaid and EBT card will soon, if not already, you're canceled. You will not be available to go to the doctors, take your kids to the doctors, go shopping at the grocery store. You know, I'm not somebody who's not on the scale of educated. Some of these illegals, they take their wife and 2 kids in a grocery store, and they spend $600-700 a month in food stamp benefits off the skin of your back. How's that feel? See, I just did a video about that. The fact of the matter is it's coming. They're not going to have EBT card benefits, and they're not going to have Medicaid benefits, and they're not going to be able to be lawfully employed on a job. See, that's the next thing is coming, which means that I talked about this in some of the videos from way back when I said it's boils down to the people that give these illegals a job, a job. When you choose to give somebody who's not lawful to be inside your country and lawful to be employed in your country, and then you give them an EBT card, then you cover their kids on Medicaid insurance and all this other good shit, it adds up. $2 trillion a year. You understand that? $2 trillion a year. Now, on this other video, how much did I say it's going to cost to get rid of these son of bitches? See? Arkansas has already done put legislation into place, and it is passed. You will not be a illegal alien inside the United States, inside that state, and have EBT card or Medicaid, period. 70,000 estimated illegals just inside Arkansas alone. That's what Governor Sarah Huckabee has come up with, her and her people. 70,000 people they've been paying a ticket on. Now back to this little debacle with the federal spending. It means if you go back on the websites and you look, and you'll see, that means for housing subsidies. That means for foundations that are receiving federal grants. You see, it means they don't get those grants. It means when you look at the Democratic meeting I sat and listened to and watched, and Chuck Schumer gets his crooked little ass up there and he says what he says is because they're correct. It will affect millions of people all the way across this whole country. Why? It's because we've been taken advantage of. $2 trillion worth. It means that, yes, the mayor of Chicago, go back and watch, he steps back, he gets his handkerchief out of his pocket, and he just continually keeps wiping sweat off of his face. He's got that deer in the headlight look on his face. He understands that he just took a $1.5 million bond. You understand? Read on the information. The bonds, the federal bonds, see? The bonds. It's kind of big in this, it's a big pill to swallow. If you can't put two and two together, it's a big old pill to swallow when you've already went out here and anticipated a $1 billion plus bond that you're not going to get. You're not going to get any federal grants or any federal money flowing into your city. And you just admitted to spending $600 million of your taxpayers' money on illegal aliens that are not even supposed to be inside this country. Could you imagine? Could you look on his face? It's that 7014 intelligence going on there, ain't it? God damn. Who says you have to be a fucking Ivy League graduate to be a smart, sophisticated son of a bitch? So the fact of the matter is, it will add up to some people. The clues will come together. The puzzle pieces are starting to fit, and you're going to get a picture of what it's going to be. It didn't come in a box. You just got to put the picture together to see what really it is. It means that every person inside this country that is able and willing to work must seek employment as usual. I mean, they usually ask that when you're applying for an EBT card or Medicaid benefits. They want you to at least make an effort to be able to find a job. Lawful employment. if you are an illegal alien inside this country, guess what? You can't be lawfully employed. See? That's what all those complaints are about. When you talk to these illegals and you say, hey man, what's up? Oh, I'm waiting on my paperwork so I can go get me a job. I can get certified. I can get okayed to go work. See? That day's over with. See? Estimated numbers on people that have been apprehended inside this country. Trust me. 1,000 people. 500 people here. 300 people here. Here, let me give you this number. Again. It's inside a certain agenda. You have to understand that. 14 years. You got to remember that. Can't say. Estimated agenda. Goals. 100,000 by the weekend. See? 7014. It's a bitch. It's this crazy ass intelligence thing going on. But just to inform you on what, if you go back and have if you could stomach listening to that news press report brought on by the Democrats and Chuck Schumer, if you can sit there and stomach it, after you watch this video, you will fully understand what is going on. That's going to affect these sanctuary cities that have went in and spent these hundreds, you got to understand this, hundreds of millions of dollars that they anticipated federal money to bail their asses out. And guess what? It ain't coming. It's not going to get, that check ain't coming in the mail. So you better come to the table with some kind of excuse. Go look at the mayor, the press release that they just had, and the questions that were asked, and look at him wipe his sweat off the brow of his face. Watch the chief of the whole police department go up there and try to save his ass. You know, watch what's going on. What's going to happen. So now you're going to have millions of illegal aliens inside your country. Keep your heads up. The message is very correct. It's not no full of shit message. It's not something that somebody's just pulling out of their ass and spitting out here on the interwebs because it's not true, because there's facts behind it. You're going to have millions of individuals with their children inside this country that no longer receive their food benefits. Their kids can't go to the doctor. They can't go to the doctor unless they got money in that ass pocket. And it's kind of like I said in some videos way back. If you can ever remember some of the videos I've made, you control the food, you control the water, then you're the one that's in power. So heads up. And in the little glitch they're talking about, there was something going on with the something was going on with the software and it was shut down for a while, but we're anticipating getting it back online and checking back up on the Medicaid EBT card network of free hospitality. Shit, you just got your ass fucking kicked out the restaurant, amigo. The fact of the matter is that's the deal. There will be no more federal spending in the amount of $2 trillion for people inside the country that are not supposed to be here, and Chuck Schumer and all them just kind of throw it off on, oh, it's just going to put more money in the rich man's pocket, Donald Trump's constituents. It's going to make them more richer. No. It's going to make America great again. See, that's the goal. So, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'll catch you cats later. I got to go out and do my thing. And till the next time, Zombie out.